Hello, everyone. My name is Chad Ganley, Assistant Director in the Career Development Center. I am here today to go over internship and job search strategies for you all. This recording will probably be about a half an hour. And if you have questions or any follow-up comments, you can definitely reach out to us in the Career Development Center. Our information, our email address, our phone number will be on the last slide for you. All right, so let's get started here. I would like to just go over the word internship to start this off with. Maybe you're a freshman, maybe you're a sophomore on this call, and you've been hearing the word internship and you're like, oh, I would like to do that. Absolutely. So what you want to do is first have a conversation with your academic advisor about this. Some of you are going to be required to do an internship, depending on your major or minor, which is awesome. Others will be given an option at some point in your, Kutztown career, usually your junior, senior year. You can go do an internship for credit. It kind of takes place of a class or two. All right. So that's what you're going to want to figure out is when to do this and how to do this. All right. So the when can kind of be up to you for the most part. Most times internships are, correlated with your fall or spring semester. So you may be taking a few classes and doing an internship. Others of you, maybe you will want to do this over the summer. All right, where you don't have to take classes and you can just go do an internship. All right. So an internship is, as you can see, a very carefully monitored work experience. It usually has a firm like start and end date. All right. They can definitely be paid. Most of them are. However, not all the time. You may find an unpaid internship just to get the experience. And again, some of you can do it for credit. Some of you will be required to do it for credit. Others of you just may be doing it for your benefit. Add it to your resume. Make some connections at a specific employer, build your network. So that's really the gist of the internship. Why should you do an internship is extremely important. For the most part, at this point in your careers, you are still, trying to figure out, what am I going to do the rest of my life? Well, an internship will give you some direct experience in that field. It'll help you figure out if you like or dislike doing this, right? So I've heard many students go do an internship in what they thought was their dream career and then find out that, hey, maybe I should look into something else, and then change their major and find something new. All right. Others, it just really backs up why or what they did want to do. And like, wow, this is definitely the career path for me. I was always thinking about becoming a financial analyst. And I just did this really cool, internship as an intern, as a finance intern. It was a great experience. I definitely want to continue this path. Great. So that's really what you're trying to do. It also helps apply, the classroom activities or lessons that you're going over and apply them to real life situations. You'll be able to obviously experience and improve your communication, meet with professionals, and build your network. So things to consider. There are going to be some requirements if you're looking to do this for credit or it is required for you. So know what those organizational and university requirements are. For example, most internships for credit require about 150 hours a semester or during the time frame you're doing it, which breaks down to like 10 to 12 hours a week if you do it weekly. So that is really important. There is usually paperwork. Some majors require a specific GPA. Again, this is all information you can find out through your department and your academic advisor. You can definitely reach out to the Career Center to help you figure it out, but I would start with your academic advisor. There's also deadlines. If you're looking to do this in the fall, all right, you're going to have a deadline probably towards the end of the summer to get all the paperwork in that says who's going to be supervising you, what you're going to be doing, etc. All right. You're going to need your resume, a cover letter, and references. These are things that are just part of the process. So it is highly recommended, depending on when you're planning on doing the internship, to start a few months ahead of time. All right. So now that we got the internship stuff out of the way, the rest of this presentation is going to go towards internship and job searching and kind of the steps and the benefits or the tips to do that. So for any type of job or internship searching, you really have to work on your own personal sales pitch. All right. Basically, it comes down to when you meet someone in the field or at a job fair or at a networking event or in an interview, what are you saying about yourself that highlights your skills? What makes you unique? Why is someone going to hire you over another student? Or why is someone going to pay you to do something? All right. So that's what you want to start thinking about. What type of employers, what would be, the best career, stepping stone for you to get your foot in the door? And what can you do for them? Right. So when I ask that question, these are the things you should be thinking about, or at least looking yourself in the mirror and saying, all right, what are my skills? All right, what are my abilities? What do I enjoy doing? What are my values? What are my preferences? Do I like working with people, for example? Do I like working solo on my own? Do I want a flexible work schedule? Do I like working from home? These are all questions that come into play. I'm not saying you're going to get to pick and choose every little thing and every preference you want, but you do have options out there. What are your interests? What type of employers do you want to work for? Do you want to work for a large corporation with thousands of employers? Or are you more interested in working for that small mom and pop, maybe 10 to 15, where you're going to have to wear more hats, they say, in the job, and you'll be doing more things. So those are, just some of the topics you want to ask yourself. Where is this dream job of yours? What geographic location? Are you interested in staying near, if you're local to Kutztown and maybe Allentown, the Lehigh Valley, maybe out towards Harrisburg, maybe down to Philly, or are you trying to get away? Are you thinking California, Texas, Florida, New York City, right? So how does that all work? Where are you going to live? What, all those questions, right? Those are things you need to be coming up with beforehand. Don't wait until, the last day before you graduate your senior year and be like, all right, I guess I should start figuring this stuff out. You want to be doing this throughout your college experience. Start looking up salaries. What salary do these jobs typically offer? What salary should a recent college graduate in my degree, if I'm a criminal justice major, or I'm an education major, what specific salaries, what range am I looking at? How do I know if I get an offer if they are lowballing me? What does that mean? What are the benefits? What benefits should I be looking for a recent college graduate? Do I care about retirement right now? Right? Yes, you should. So what does that mean? There are employers out there who offer tuition reimbursement for those of you who are going to have some student loans. That's a really cool benefit. Or they're going to pay for you to go to grad school. All right. But if you're not looking into this, you may just accept a job that that's not going to really benefit you in the long run, right? What about professional associations or student clubs on campus? How can that help you? Getting, you growing your network or joining an association, attending a conference. Those are just things that, again, look at yourself in the mirror, have this conversation, write down some steps, some goals, short term in the next couple of weeks, long term this semester, this year, that you want to accomplish. So to dive a little bit deeper, and I'm not going to go through all of these, but there are a lot of, moving parts and a lot of choices you're going to really have to look into. I always look for an organization or a company that helps professionally develop you. As a young professional, you should definitely do this. Make sure your organization that you're potentially going to join has some professional development opportunities for you, that they're willing to invest in you to help grow yourself, right? Maybe, especially with the recent COVID world that we've been living in, you get to work from home. They're flexible. Maybe it's 1 or 2 days in the office, 3 days at home. That's pretty cool if you like that. Maybe you don't want to work from home. Maybe you want more flexibility to work on weekends, so you get a couple days off during the week. All right, so those are things you're going to want to look into. What else? So even personal health, right? Work-life balance. Some organizations out there are really committed to your health, and maybe have a on-site gym, or will pay for you to go to the gym. Those are just, again, little benefits. Personal wellness. They have personal counseling offerings, whatever that may be. So really look into the in-depth company. You can do this by, asking around, talking with people, your family, your friends, other classmates who maybe have worked at certain organizations, the career center, your faculty. Really start asking the right questions. In addition, learn through experience. So what does this mean? I highly recommend 2 to 3 informational interviews a semester. All right, so this is having conversations with professionals. They can be 10 to 15 minutes. They're just quick. They can be Zoom calls, they can be phone calls, or you can take them out to for a cup of coffee, something of that nature. Professionals in the field that you want to ask a few questions. How they got into their field, what they like about their job or what they don't like, what their major was, what advice they would give to someone in your shoes. All right. And then build this into a job shadowing experience. You should be, heading out to some organizations, following people around, seeing what they do for a half a day, for a couple hours. I know that during COVID, obviously, this is extremely difficult with the social distancing protocols, etc. But if you can, get out there and job shadow. Also, volunteer work. See if there's anything you can do for a company that you're interested in working for in a volunteer capacity. Maybe it's once a semester, couple times a year, whatever that may be. Those are, 3 of the main ways to figure out your career path for a college student. So if you need help with those, reach out to us. We have a lot of Kutztown University alumni connections that we can connect you with. Your faculty might know someone, or you may already have someone in your family. So those are definitely the steps I would be taking right now in your shoes. All right. So here's some research for you to help you understand how important this stuff is that I'm talking about. Money. So most of you do care about money. So they do say the average starting salary, now this is a few years old, but an additional $15,000 a year for a student who has done an internship. All right. So if that didn't spark your interest, maybe you're just interested in getting the experience for fun and for your resume builder, but also know that, for those of you who care about money, an internship is a great way to start your career off on a higher salary. So where do you look? All right, that's the next biggest question. Where can I find these internships? Where can I find these jobs? Your network is really a good place to start. 80% of jobs are found through some form of networking. So someone a classmate, the Career Development Center, faculty, and just asking and, having those conversations. Other places to look are, Handshake. Most of you are probably familiar with Handshake at this point. Handshake is Kutztown University's career platform. You all have access. You can use this as an alumni too. Internship and job fairs, on-campus recruiting or virtual interviewing these days. What else? Professional associations, social media. Get on LinkedIn. I highly recommend that. There's a few. Kutztown University has an alumni network you can get on, but LinkedIn has a job board. Really, really good one. Follow employers on any form of social media. If you're already on, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, you can follow employers. They post jobs on those platforms all the time. And then obviously just working the internet, Googling organizations, finding out, if they have a career page, if they have a job and internship page, and just applying online. So we do host internship and job fairs every semester. Depending on your major, there may be one specific for you. For example, there's a job fairs for educators that we do every single spring semester. Our internship and job fairs are held every semester. There's a grad school fair, typically in the fall. You just have to be on the lookout for this. Typically, they're held on campus. Lately, they have been virtually on a virtual platform. So what to expect at a fair? Anywhere from 20 to 200 employers, give or take. We typically average between 50 and 75 at our fairs, local, regional, and national organizations. So it's not just employers looking to recruit for a Kutztown company. It could be like Enterprise, who hires nationally. Yes, they have opportunities around the area, but you could find a job in Texas from them. All right. Brief conversations. So typically at a job fair, you have to be prepared to have a really quick convo, maybe 30 seconds up to like a couple minutes with an employer, talking about yourself, selling yourself, and figuring out if there is a match, or if there is a way for you to get into that organization. A lot of organizations do set up interviews directly from job fairs. If it's an in-person interview, these are extremely fast-paced. They can be very crowded, so just be prepared for that. There may be long lines for certain employers. You may have to wait 5 people deep, 15 minutes just to talk to someone. If they're virtual, it may be a little bit different. You may have to sign up ahead of time. Our latest career fairs were virtual through Handshake, where students could log in and pick up a time a month ahead of time. All they had to do is log in at a specific time on the day of. So moving on from the fairs, we're going to talk about your toolkit. Your job fair, toolkit is everything that you should have hopefully been working on since you stepped on the campus, but that you should really have completed and a good version of at this point. Resumes, we review resumes in our office. So all you have to do is upload it into Handshake and we will take a look at your resume. Cover letters, same thing. We will review those. You have to email us those, but you should have both of these documents at least reviewed by us, if not us and someone else, before you start sending them out. A professional email address, first and last name at Yahoo, at Gmail, whatever you have. You can use your Kutztown email address for now, but get in a good practice of using a Gmail or a Yahoo. Your voicemail message, many times if I call students, I get their voicemail, right? A handful of times your voicemail box may be full. Make sure that doesn't happen if you're job searching or internship searching, because then I can't leave you a message. Also make sure you have a professional voicemail message, that it's your own voice. Just something very simple of, thanks for the phone call. Unfortunately, I'm unavailable at this time. Please leave a detailed message and I'll get back to you. That's so simple to do. Takes 20 seconds to update. Make sure that's there. You just come off a lot more professional when that person tries to call you. Social media, I hit on this a little bit earlier. Just get on LinkedIn. I have never heard of a really, really good reason why someone is not on LinkedIn. So if you think of one, email me, let me know. Your 30-second commercial. So this is your elevator pitch, your news, we call it. What are you going to say if I put you on the spot and said you have 30 seconds to tell me about yourself in the form of, job and internship searching? Go, right? So many students are going to get stumped. But But this is what you have to practice for a job fair, for a networking event, for the first time you meet someone in your field. What are you going to say? Interviewing skills are a necessity. I don't know too many college students who are going to be able to skip the interview process. Most of your, maybe high school jobs or maybe even a college job, you didn't really have to interview for, but most likely to get an internship or your first professional position outside of college, you are definitely going to have a real interview. A real interview could be an hour, 2 hours, half a day. It could be a 3-part process. Who knows? But you have to practice this. You have to get good at this. That is one thing that you don't learn in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, high school, is how to interview. It really is your college experiences and how well you can really pick up on confidently talking about yourself in the form of a job or an internship. Professional suit and accessories. Yes, you have to dress the part. Typically, we recommend the suit, the business suit, shirt and tie for men, etc. Not all industries require that, but you want to look good. All right. We have a career closet on campus in Stratton that you can come over. We have donated clothing. Some of it is brand new. Other is, maybe worn a few times, but we go through it and we make sure it's still good, that you can come over and get an outfit for. So make sure you're dressing the part as well. All right, so I mentioned your resume. So I'm going to give you some quick tips here. So your resume is a document that needs to be perfect. No typos, no errors, spelling mistakes, no. It is recommended for college students to have a 1-page resume only. Some of you, maybe in your senior year, maybe on 2 pages if you've done a lot of research, or you're maybe an adult student with a lot of years of experience already, or you've attended a lot of conferences, you're presenting at conferences, maybe 2 pages. Otherwise, 95% of you will be on a 1-page resume. Don't go 1 page and a couple sentences, a 1 page only. We also want to see a focus. Take the time to figure out the types of jobs you're applying for. You may have more than one version of your resume, but really target it to that specific job or internship, right? There should be keywords in your industry. These can be found right in the job description, or these can be found on your syllabus. What are those keywords? Only you and your industry, you and your classmates that are looking for a specific job. Because employers, the last little statistic I have down there, typically only look for 10 to 15 seconds when they're looking at your resume the first time. They either see something they like or they don't, and they move on. If you are one of 100 people applying to a job, I don't have time to look through every little detail on your resume. The first time, I'm just narrowing it down. Do you meet the qualifications? Are you in the industry I'm recruiting for? All right, I'll put you in a good pile. If you don't, you probably go in the trash pile. So really take the time to make it look like you are a perfect fit for the job. Next is interviewing. So you're most likely not going to get an interview without a good resume. So that's why you need to work on that resume first, have it reviewed, tailor it to the job, and then hopefully you're going to get an interview after you apply. The interview is extremely important. That's usually what makes or break you getting a job offer. So you want to know what are the main talking points for each position you're getting yourself into. The employer wants to know, can you do this job? Will you do the job? And what additional or what extras can you bring to our team? Are you a team player? All right. So you really have to figure out all that good stuff. Reading, up on the company, reading up on their organization, talking to people about them. You don't want to go in an interview just winging it, because that could really go on a downhill quick. Virtual interviewing is something that's going to be, the norm coming up, especially with COVID and how that all went down. We are seeing this a lot more, and it's not going to go away. Your first or second interview may be a phone and a virtual Zoom interview. Then they might bring you in person. So you really have to practice this as well. You have to understand the different platforms. You have to really make sure your internet connection is good. You're testing out the equipment. You're still dressing the part. You got to make sure your background is good. A lot of different moving things in a virtual interview than in a typical in-person interview. The nice part is you don't have to drive anywhere, right? You're not wasting your gas money, etc. So after each interview, no matter in person or virtual, you should still make sure you're sending a thank you letter. We see a lot of our college students don't do this, but it is a professional courtesy and it's kind of like expected. So within 24 hours, send a quick thank you email to the individuals you met with, thanking them for their time, obviously telling them that you're extremely interested, and then usually listing one or two things that really sparked your interest or the reasons of why, again, you would make a good fit for this position. Another tip for you all in the internship or job search right now is to Google yourself. A lot of recruiters or hiring managers will do this during the job search. So they're going to be looking you up. So you should probably try and, take a proactive stance to this, see what is out there about you. A lot of things you can maybe delete or hide if it's connected to social media, remove some things, set some privacy settings, but at least you know what's out there about yourself because recruiters are doing this. All right. Networking, definitely get on the networking kick. I mentioned LinkedIn before, but to be honest, it's all about, the social media nowadays. It is about LinkedIn, that someone's going to find you on LinkedIn as well. So it's not just about you finding them or applying to jobs on LinkedIn. Recruiters are extremely active on LinkedIn, and they may message you through the system, or they're going to come across your resume. Or I mentioned when they Google you, they should see your LinkedIn profile in a Google search. My biggest, I guess, takeaway from this is let people know you are job or internship searching. Anytime you're having a conversation with, your friends, your faculty, definitely your family, your uncles, your aunts, your neighbors, somehow bring it up, right? I mean, it shouldn't be like the starter, but if you're just having a nonchalant conversation, at some point bring up, yeah, I'm graduating next year. Right now I'm looking for an internship in this field. Do you know anyone? Not do you know anyone who could hire me, but do you know anyone in this field? So start it off with that conversation. Maybe you can have a conversation. Maybe you can do an informational interview. Maybe you can job shadow. Maybe you can just have a conversation that leads into then an internship or a job ask, and then take it from there. All right. So again, LinkedIn, there's some numbers here for you. Just from my perspective, just get on, start doing it little by little. Don't try and take, one day of your life and go try and create all these social media profiles and LinkedIn's. Just sign up, get a headshot up there, put in your basic information, and then update it every couple days, every couple weeks. Go back in, update something. It's like your resume. You can add parts down the road as you see fit. Here are some samples of the career, professional wardrobe. I mentioned we do have that career closet, so come take a look. You can just call our office and set up an appointment, and you can get prepared for that first interview or the first day on the job. We're ending it up here with a couple more slides, but marketing yourself, your news, your elevator pitch, I mentioned before. This is a great way to think about that. you can write this stuff down, memorize it if you have to, practice in front of a mirror. This one's called the news: your name, your education, your work experiences, and your skills and abilities, right? News, N-E-W-S. All right. And then finally, Handshake. I brought this up before, but Handshake is our online platform. You all can log in with your single sign-on. Very easy to do. www.kutztown.edu/handshake. There's a jobs tab, there's an events tab, there's a career fairs tab. You can upload your resume, you can create your own Handshake profile, you can search employers, you can message recruiters, you can message students. Again, it's a no-brainer. It's something you should probably be checking, if not daily, every couple days. You can download the app. There is a Handshake app. Again, it's all free. And even as an alumni, you can still use this service. All right, so if you have any questions or concerns about it, definitely reach out to us in the Career Development Center. And then lastly, I mentioned I would share our information about our office. We can be reached at 610-683-4067 or careerhelp@kutztown.edu. But my final takeaway are these 3 quick bullets. If you're job or internship searching, is get into a internship and job fair, upload your resume, and practice your interviewing. So that's it for me. Again, thank you for watching this. My name is Chad, and I hope to see you soon, either in person or in another virtual event. Have a great day.